So who do we have here?
This is Bert.
Hi, Bert. Oh, you seem very friendly, huh? Oh, we found the treats too. Yeah. Hi.
Wifey Lisa.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good seeing you again too. Sorry.
This is Bert.
Hi. Looks like luckily the weather is holding out for now.
Yeah, it's just freezing a little bit.
But in case it gets bad, we have Plan B.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see some of the behaviors that you're having problems with.
So the leash is very new to him.
Okay.
So like when we first got him, like putting a collar, I mean, it's still a little bit of an issue, like just putting the collar on, but he
Made
just...
really good progress with the collar the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
that's
just
not
really
long.
now figuring out that he's attached to something. So
Okay.
like leash, probably just working on walking, and the leash is probably like our first priority.
Okay.
He's picked up on sitting down really fast.
That's good.
So, but I would say leash is probably our first priority, and then just probably some of the basics like stay and come would probably be like the next priorities for us.
Okay.
Just real basics
I
at
don't
this
know if
point.
Blake told you, other dogs isn't a concern anymore. He passed with flying colors at doggy daycare yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does really well with other dogs, it seems.
So, what was their evaluation like? What did they do?
So they just brought him, they took him back and they introduced him to one dog, and then they added 2 more, and then they added 2 more.
Right.
So basically he ended up in a pretty confined space with 5 dogs, and then they let him into the big, they call it the romper room, and there's like 20 dogs in there.
Yeah, that sounds about right for his size. So, did he seem nervous or apprehensive at all during the meeting, or just excited to meet everybody?
Very outgoing and ready to play.
Okay. So the only thing that I can think from that is just the fact that it may be like size and intimidation based,
Exactly, yeah.
which we can test pretty easily here too, because I've got Flint and I got another big dog too, so that shouldn't be a problem. And then as far as like leash work goes, yeah, you can kind of see working on a beagle with the same kind of issue. He just has that leash pressure and then just kind of ignores it to continue following his nose, like most scent breeds. This is understandable. So what I usually do to help recondition that is to build a positive association with the leash pressure and getting him to like connect it to checking back to me for a reward. So let's see here. Let's try. So since he already knows that I have treats, it should be a little bit easier. Right now, we're gonna remind him, good boy. Good. Right, so instead of letting that leash pressure kind of like linger and kind of build, we make it just a little bit more sudden. Usually trainers will like, do the U-turn thing or whatnot. And that's really, good boy. Yes, good boy. And then let him follow me for a bit. Good boy. Yeah. Oh yeah. It helps though, right? Because now we have his attention and his nose and everything is on us, including the focus, and it's not on the ground or anything. I know, I'm getting all tangled up. Oh no, that's fine. Yes, good boy. Right, so that way he starts to actually pay attention to the leash pressure a little bit. The hardest part is when we walk. Normally, we're just gonna go in like a straight line, anyways.
Yeah.
And so he'll end up getting distracted and following whatever scent trail, and because he walks faster, we'll end up just start pulling because we run out of leash, and we're not going to speed up.
Yeah.
So we have to get the dog to always slow down. But if we can get him to at least refocus on us periodically when he feels the leash pressure, as opposed to just completely ignoring it and continuing to follow his nose, that'll be half the battle. And then part of it too, now that we're working with Bagel, is maintaining that focus, right? So instead of just getting it momentarily, getting it and trying to hold on to it for a while and then releasing it. So that way it's not just like playing ping pong with the leash all the time. Good boy. And because he's treat motivated, it should be pretty easy to do. Here, I'll let you guys do a round real quick.
She's got hers too.
Okay, yeah, either one.
So what am I supposed to do?
So just get his attention and let him know that you have a reward. Because he's right now focused on me. Okay, there you go. Now have him follow you for the reward.
Bert?
There you go. And have him focus up on you. Good. And then as soon as he's not paying attention or he's got that leash pressure, there you go. Good. Yeah. Right, and then back out. So right now he's in that stage, like I was saying, when we're just kind of ping-ponging. We're getting his attention, but then we're losing it. We're getting his attention, and then we're losing it, right? Unless you have the treats always in your pocket.
Do I say his name to get his attention or use the treat?
Either way. There you go. So,
Give him pressure and then...
So yeah, as soon as he starts to pull, make it obvious that he's pulling, right? There you go. And usually with name recognition, I try to call his name before the leash is tight, so that way I know what he's responding to. So there, because he starts to pull, right, he's not even noticing. So here, because he feels the leash pressure, but he's just ignoring it because he's just getting distracted by other things, what you could do is increase the leash pressure by just walking the other way, and that'll help to kind of make more impact and have him like recognize it. So as soon as he, right? So as soon as it gets tight going one way, you just immediately either hold or then turn and go the other way. And then there. Good, there you go.
Good job.
You want him to just try to kind of refocus onto you. And it's, like I said, it's hard because he's...
pressure.
Yeah.
I should either say his name or turn.
Just do pretty much anything to make it so the leash is more impactful on him.
Bert.
Yes. Good. Now, good. Now try to do it so you get his attention back before he pulls. Yeah.
Okay. Bert.
Good. It's difficult, right? So.
Bert. Bert. Bert.
Good. Yeah, it's difficult because with scent breeds, like everything has a smell, you know. It's not just, it looks like there's nothing there to us, but there's tons of different scents from other pups and animals and everything from there. Good. So now this time when you get his attention, instead of rewarding him right away, try to keep his attention onto you for a few steps and then give him a treat. So there, now, oh, it's hard, right? So maintaining that focus is the hardest part. Yeah, he's almost still at that, like, that puppy stage when, like, you use a lure to get him to, like, focus, because if, right? Because as soon as he's gone, it's a lot harder to get him back. But if we have his attention first, it's a lot easier to maintain it. So that was good that you got it, but you gave the treat right away. So try to extend the time that he has to focus on you when you get his attention. Good, there you go. Keep your eyes up, eyes up. Good boy. Good, this way. Yes, come here. Good. There you go. Good. There you go. And then you reward.
Good. Yes.
Sometimes that helps too. It just makes a difference. It's just freeze-dried chicken. But trying out different treats can actually make a difference too, just because higher value ones to them will make it easier for them to want, right? And then maintain focus or like get the focus back. And then what I'll do sometimes to wean them back onto like more lower value treats for kibble is I'll mix the higher value treats with lower value kibble.
Yeah.
Right, so that way, you know, he gets rewarded, but it's not always the high value one. But it keeps him motivated enough that he wants to keep working for it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have something of like, you know, medium to low value, and smelling the grass is about as comparable, then you know you're gonna have a harder time. And if you're having a harder time maintaining focus, he's not gonna get the lesson as much.
Yeah.
Right? Good. Good. Oh. Easy, bud. Poor guy. There you go. Good. Now, right as soon as you lose his attention, try to get it back right away and then give him a reward. Good. And what we'll do eventually is use the leash, like kind of micro pulses, to get him to like, oh, hey, you know, oh, this way, oh, that way, right? Doing good.
This is what? This is just go boy.
So that's going to be the hardest part, right? When he like kind of starts extending down, you've already lost his focus because he's got something on his nose, and now we're just trying to pull him away from it, right? He's starting to already ignore the pressure, right?
So what would I do in that situation?
In that situation, you can either release pressure, right? Just let him smell, and then as soon as he's done, then try to get it back, right? Because then that's another way that you can avoid that time under pressure.
Sure.
Right? Or you can pulse it. I'll show you. We'll see what he does here. Good boy. Right, so I know that he's tracking right now, right? His nose is down a little bit. This way. Good boy. Yes, this way. Good boy. Good job. Bert. Almost, right? So he got distracted. He turned to his name, but then got distracted right away and couldn't follow through. So here, instead of just like constant, there you go, good boy. Constant tight pressure, little pulses can actually be a little bit more impactful too. So now that his nose is on the ground, hi. What you looking for, huh? Are you looking for lizards? Oh, good boy. This way. This way. This way. Good boy. Wait. Oh, what was that? Right? So give him like a split second to acknowledge the command, but because he's not, he hits the end of the leash and then he has to pay attention, right? He doesn't hit the end of the leash and say, oh, whatever. He hits the end of the leash and then something happens. Right? And we're overdoing it now because we have to get him kind of back used to, you know, that feeling happening. But eventually you want it to get to the point where it's sensitive enough that you start to slightly pull and he's like, oh, what's that? And he turns and it's like, oh, a treat this way, right? Or focusing this way. So being slightly distracted there. Yes, good boy, this way. Right, and then giving just gentle pressure until he acknowledges it. Giving gentle pressure until he acknowledges it, and then rewarding him right away and letting him know or marking. You're like, yes, that's what I want. I want you to refocus on me when you feel that leash pressure. Or like I said, you could just keep treats in your pocket all the time. A nose level is perfect too, right?
Yeah. Bert, you're wrapping yourself up.
Hi, big guy. There you go. Good boy.
You have my full attention.
All right.
Bert.
He's like, if I just chew from the bottom, I can actually get it this way.
That's what he
Whoop, there we go. Good boy. Wait. Wait. Good. There you go.
Do you want me to take it?
Good. So just using it sometimes like to get his attention, and then using it other times just as like a hard barrier. At least he did well at the at Dogtopia. That itch. And this is something that you would normally practice at home first, where there's less distractions, and getting him used to just responding right away. There you go. So try to pulse. There you go, good. Try to reward him when he refocuses on you. That's going to be the trick, the main thing. Because if we bring the treat down to him after he does something, he's not really focused on her still, right? He's kind of just moved on to the next thing. There you go. And if he does start dragging you one way, just go the other way. Yep.
Get eye contact with the big.
So that's another one of those times, right? You can either push in to drop that leash pressure and let him get to whatever he's smelling, or, you know, pulse or go the other way, right? We want to try to stay away from this gray zone as much as possible. So if he's going somewhere that you don't want to go, just show him where you want to go. So if you want to just keep walking on straight, just keep walking straight. He's got a bottle cap. There you go, good boy. And that's just something that you have to kind of get used to as well, right? Is actually controlling the walk more and having some more like initiative and guidance in your mind, right? So like right here, right? So if you want him to smell, go ahead and let him smell. Keep the leash nice and loose. But then when you want to go, you just go, right? It's really hard because when they're in front like that and his nose is on the ground, it's really hard for him to pay attention to where we are, what we're doing, where we're going. That's why a lot of trainers like to have them in like that heel position, because then you can see in their peripheral when, you know, you're too far away or whatnot.
So like right now, you know, especially in the beginning, should we be more worried about controlling the walk or letting him do what he wants?
Well, let's just see what's easier, because you're still trying to get used to him, and yeah, still trying to get used to him in the relationship, right? So
yeah,
letting him
definitely
smell.
likes to be out front and leading, and I don't know if that's okay or not, or if he should be like right by our side. But he just wants to do this. Just wants to smell everything.
Right. For a dog, the walk is everything in between A and B. For people, the walk is what, you know, is getting from A to B.
Yeah.
So here, what we'll do is we'll give him less leeway, right? More corrections with the leash pressure, right? As soon as his head dips down, I pull back up. Good boy. Right, and I just keep moving so he passes all those scents, right? He's not paying attention to me though. Good boy. There you go. Right, his nose has got to be pretty much somewhere. So that's why keeping it up and keeping him kind of going, right? Yes, good boy. Good. So as soon as he gets like too far ahead, good boy. Good boy. There you go. Right. So it's like loose until I need him to do something else, right? So it's good. It's good. I want him to smell. He can smell. Right? Still loose. And then when I want him to come back to us, right? It's less of a negotiation. It's more of a, okay, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. Good boy. Yes. Come here. Good boy. Up here. Up here. Good. And you see, like, with the more focus that you have, the less leash that you need, right? But it's a normal walk is gonna be a balance of the two because he's not gonna be staring at you the whole time, right? So it's gonna be like walking, good boy. And then there, you got distracted. Yes. Here we go, up here. Good. Yes, this way. Good. All right. So instead of the pressure being constant and low, we pull up and to where we want to go. Right. Good. And those little moments when he pays attention to you is really important. So he's trying to say, good boy, see if he wants a treat, get ready for it. There you go. Good. And make sure that he's focused on you instead of the treat, too. Good. There you go. Good. So even though he has a shorter leash, I still try to keep it nice and loose so that way when I need that tension to pull up, it makes more of an impact, right? But because it's a shorter leash on the heel, as soon as he kind of dips down, it'll also automatically create that tension for you if you hold, if you hold the leash right.
Yeah, bring him back the other way, Ben.
So for her, you can kind of see she's trying to pulse. If that doesn't work, just go. Yeah. So what ends up happening is you're trying too hard to either wait for him or to get his attention. If you start going, you're gonna get his attention.
Yeah.
Right? So that way it'll make it easier on both of you guys, right? So good. You tried his name, you tried the pressure, and now just go. Good. And then release the pressure as soon as he's again. Good, there you go.
Yes, good job.
And then on.
We'd want him focused on us 90% of the time, right?
At least until he can get good enough at it that he's able to watch you in his peripheral, Or at least until he gets more sensitive to the leash, right? Good, there you go.
Good job.
Because if he's not watching you, but he feels the leash pressure and knows to check where you're going, then that, then that's just as good as well.
Are we almost in that
Bert.
He's getting better already.
He's getting there. It's difficult for him, like I said, because you have to kind of get him used to what that pressure actually means.
Yeah.
Good, there you go. So when you're practicing, it's going to be a lot different than when you're really walking. for like a while until he starts to get it, right? So that's why it's important to not think about distance as much as what's going on during the walk. You might not get very far, but the goal is to get really, really far with him either focusing on you or with the leash loose.
Yeah, so anytime the leash gets tight,
Yeah.
we want to get his attention and redirect.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna fix that.
He's allergic to something.
Poor guy.
Good job, bud. Do one more lap. We'll come back down.
And so that's how we would start with just building a positive relationship with the leash, right? And then the way that a lot of other places do it is they build like a negative or a more impactful relationship with the leash. So like, for example, as soon as he starts to overshoot me, I'll change direction on him. It'll cause the leash to pop. Right? Good boy. Good boy. This way. Good. And it gets to that point where like he realizes that he has to kind of keep up and pay attention to what's going on. Good boy. Because as soon as he doesn't, he's going to have that consequence.
Yeah.
Good boy. Right? He's like, wait a second. There. And you can kind of see there, he's starting to check in his periphery. Hey, I dropped back. He's like, oh, I should probably pay attention. Now he's actually...
Instead of getting yanked.
Mm-hmm. Good boy. He's like, treats.
All right, we'll get the sweet back chicken.
It doesn't help that the little pup is good. Good. He's excited to follow you, right? Just like he's excited to follow his scents and things.
Yeah.
If you can create that excitement and that engagement, it will help too. Here, we'll switch. Right? So his intensity is something that could set off a pup that is a little bit more shy too, right? Like Flint, he would kind of take that as maybe an offense. And right now, being held back by the leash could actually be causing that to be amplified, right? Because he just wants to get to the dog and he can't, so he has to try harder. And the harder that he tries, the worse it looks and sounds, right? And so that's why Blanton's also like want to play, but he's unsure, so he's moving back at the same time.
Was that an aggressive sound he was making?
No, he was just making a sound.
Yeah, because the two incidents where he was on the leash, so I don't know if the leash has something to do with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of cases of, you know, what's known as leash aggression, right? Because you can see now when he's kind of able to engage a little bit, he's still intense, but he's softened up.
Yeah.
When he's not able to engage, there you go. He's telling him to take it easy. See? And he softens up a little bit.
Yeah.
Good. So you might just want to play, and that's another reason why the evaluation in the room went well, was because he didn't have any pressure, right? He was free to move away or towards the other dog. Right? He's free to move away or towards the other dog to investigate and get used to him like that, right?
I know, you just want to be just with me.
And that also might just be his mannerisms too.
Yeah.
And like a pup like Flint, who is a little bit more shy,
Yeah.
right, could get scared by that and then get defensive. And then when another dog gets defensive and he gets defensive, right, it can cause an escalation. Whereas here, you can see that he's like almost borderline playing with the little one, even though it sounds super terrifying.
Right.
Right. So that's why it's really important, if you're ever unsure of situations like this, you want to pay close attention to not only what your dog is doing, but what the other dog is doing.
Yeah.
Because when Blanton was scared, he moved back. When he wasn't scared, he pushed in, like play. So that's how, like these two, and we know that it's okay. If he was scared, he'd act scared. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, they know each other's saying better than we do.
But they're still like feeling it out, but his confidence level, right?
Yeah.
Whereas with Flint, if he starts to get scared, he'll like, he'll let the other dog know that he's scared, and if he also takes that as an aggressive move, then like, right? So he's like even popping away, even though he sounds vicious. He's moving away when he's hopping towards him, right? Instead of going towards him, right? An aggressive dog will always go forward, right? Yeah.
Jesus, Bert.
He's intense, right? And so now you can kind of see why that would like maybe off-put not only like other pups, but maybe people as well, right?
Okay, that was the sound he was making on the trail.
Yeah, so that's just his play noise to a degree.
Yeah, so the main thing is you're gonna have to be aware of and be careful of how the other dog is gonna react to that. You know, it's not necessarily their fault, but then if, like I said, they get on the defensive foot, and then that triggers him to get on the defensive foot. Now you're spiraling downhill.
Sure.
Oh yes, I know you found the hole. Okay, I gotta either sew that up or get new pants, or put the treats in a different pocket, I guess. All right. Cece, wait. So even though he's sitting, he's not as calm, right? Because we don't have the focus. He's still very intense, right? So as soon as he does move, it's going to be intense going forward. Good girl. Yeah. And this is just like kind of stability practice, right? Her being able to see something, be excited, and redirect back to me. That'll be something that you'll probably want to practice too. Good girl. I know. Good girl. Right? It's like laser focus. Yeah. It's good and bad, because if you do need to get his attention back or anything, it's, you know that you're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? So what we'll do is we'll walk together for a while and kind of let him get used to being around her before interacting with her, because he's just too intense right now, right? So we'll let him kind of smell where she smelled, kind of see her at a distance. We're just going to try to slowly wean out some of that excitement as we're walking. So I'll follow you guys. Okay, and this will give her an opportunity to smell him from behind too. Good. So at least he found something else to kind of focus on for a bit. Right? Good. Good. Now he's focused on her again. Right?
Bert.
Good girl. Okay. Now we'll go back over there. Good. Good. So on and off, till he can get adjusted. And so that'll be another thing too, right? If he's like super intense. Good girl. Good girl, Cece. Good, there you go. I'm gonna walk a little bit. Now go ahead and turn and walk by me again and just keep walking. Yeah. We'll kind of just cross paths a couple times. Good, there you go. Good.
Alright, food is not enough for another dog.
Good girl, yes. Good. Okay, so I'll go ahead and let her kind of smell. Good. And now I'll let her meet from behind. So go ahead and try to walk behind us, so that way he can smell her from behind. Very slowly, right? Because that way he'll get to know her a little bit more without the face-to-face interaction, which can be really intense for a lot of dogs too. So especially if they're already unsure and then they like end up locking eyes before getting to know each other, it can make things escalate as well. Good, there you go. So we'll just go back and forth here. Yep, there you go. Good. So now he's interested in something else altogether. Good girl. All right. So now that they're both a little bit more relaxed, we'll let them kind of get closer to each other since he's not as intense anymore, right? Yeah. And then just be ready to pull away if necessary too. Good girl.
She's so good.
I think we need to get some more higher value treats, man. These little training treats in or unicorn. Hi, CC.
It just depends. Sometimes just switching it up too is, can really help. All right. There you go. So seeing if he'll smell her butt instead of being in her face, very good. That's a lot more polite when it comes to dogs and greetings, as opposed to like the hard face-to-face interactions, right? Where he's almost like staring her down. Yeah. And you can kind of tell with her demeanor, she's not too interested either, right? She's trying to like move away. She checked him out a little bit, but she's like, okay, cool. Good. Right? Good girl. There you go. Good. Good. So he probably just hasn't had too many opportunities like that of getting to that zone and being able to peel back and redirect. Right. Yeah, you have to, situations like that, you can only practice like in situations like that. Getting him used to de-escalating, redirecting, and calming down when he's at that extreme high. Yeah. Good girl. There you go. And now she's like, yeah. All right. So now let's try again with, like, I guess, Flint.
Okay.
All right. Good boy. Right. So you can see the difference that like a dog's confidence can make in an interaction, right? So Blanton was like on the far opposite side because he's super confident, and then Cece's more neutral, and then he's on the negative side, right? So the more intense he is, the more his other partner has to be like either super confident, right? Or well socialized to kind of be able to read him correctly and not just be intimidated or scared. So you can kind of see him like tucking in and him doing his normal thing too. It's just one of those compatibility things. Sure. When they do evaluations at the place too, you know, they're not just picking random dogs. They're picking dogs that know either really good social skills and maybe a wild card or two with certain behaviors. Like they might start humping the dog to see how that dog would react if they get aggressive, or, you know, if how they do with a really shy dog, right? Do they actually respect their space and their shyness, or do they like push towards them still, right? So a well-socialized dog would be able to pick up on him like seeing that he's scared and kind of like back off a little bit. But for him, his intensity and his interest to just meet overrides that. Yeah, I know. So what we'll try to do again is the same with Cece. We'll just walk until we can get him to settle down, right? Get him used to being around the other dog, right? Right? Because his intense gaze and his sound is bad, right? It looks bad, but the rest of his body language still looks like he wants to play and that he's excited.
Tail's wagging the entire time.
We have to kind of read the whole thing, and we have to, more importantly, especially in this situation, read how the other dog is taking it, right? So way different than how Blanton was taking it. Good boy. It's okay, big guy, right? And that'll let you know if his behavior is okay or not, because his behavior could still be exactly the same, but it might be okay with one dog, but it can't be okay with another dog. Good boy. There you go. Good boy. And you can see Flint is kind of curious too, but only when he's not feeling that pressure. Okay? As soon as he starts walking away, Flint's like, maybe I'll go check him out. But then as soon as he turns and faces him again, he's like, maybe not. Right? And especially with these two, having that face-to-face confrontation would be way too scary for him and probably trigger an overreaction as well. Right? So it'd be difficult, but we would definitely want them to meet end to end first, if possible. Yeah. There you go. Good. At least he can peel away. A lot of times I'll know if it's a really bad aggressive case if they like stick like this and they stay stuck. Like I could be down at the end of the street and the other dog would still be trying to get to him. That's how you know it's really bad, right? So Flint here is trying to feel him out too. He's kind of like wants to play. He's kind of unsure, right? So he's trying to tell him to like tone it down a little bit. Because he wants to play, but he's also like very like unsure of the situation. Yeah. So he's trying his best to like exude that confidence, right? To get the other dog to break, but he's not breaking. He's still intense. So that's like Flint's way of feeling out the dog in this situation. It's like, can he actually get the other dog to stop? Or is the other dog not going to? And he's like, he's not going to, right? Yeah, here, I'll walk this way and you can slowly come up. But if he's super intense, just don't let him close space. The goal is to get them like back to that calm and neutral zone before we try to meet. And they're definitely not neutral. Good boy. It's okay, bud. Good boy. You're okay. Right? There you go. Come on. It's okay. There you go. What do you think? Huh? What do you think?
Stop showing teeth so much.
What do you think? Huh? What do you think? What do you think?
His demeanor's calming down. He's not showing as much teeth either.
He's feeling him out more, right? I think he knows that he wants to be friendly, but he's too intense for him, and it causes him to have that reaction. Is like trying to still feel him out, right? What do you think, Flip? Good boy. Come on, Flint. Oh, I know. There you go. And the crying and the whining also signifies usually to us that they do want to engage, right? If they were just constantly barking and lunging at one another, that would definitely be a more negative signal. This is definitely exactly what it is. It's a very mixed signal.
Right, yeah.
Right? Good job. Yeah. His intensity just really puts him on the back foot.
He's coming back.
A little bit. Right? So I'm just keeping the leash nice and loose, and you can see here, he like moves away and then like goes and squares him up. What do you think, Flint? What do you think? Huh? And then he runs away again. There you go. Good. There you go. Good. Good. Very good. There you go. Good. They get a lot more information when they get to smell each other. They get nothing. They usually don't get very good information from like hard eye contact. Right? So we'll try to get it to the point where Flint can smell him too. We'll see. That's going to probably take even more confidence on his part. And then he also has to be looking away the whole time, which is hard. It's okay, bud. So I'll have you walk and I'll try to come up behind you. Hey, bud, you're okay. Come on, big guy. There you go. Right? So it's like that face-to-face interaction that's always triggering it. Hi. What do you think, Flint? Huh? What do you think? Huh? What do you think? What? You big guy? Oh. You say hi? You say hi to the baby? He's shy, so we're trying to get him used to the other pup that's very intense. Hi.
Oh, hi, puppy.
Just say hi.
Good morning.
Good boy.
Like, Libby, you want to go out in the...
There you go. Good boy.
rain? As soon as she sees you, she goes woof, woof, woof.
Aww.
Hi, say good morning.
Good boy.
Good boy. Say hi. Doggy. He's so cute. How old is he?
I think she said 20 months or so, so almost 2 years.
Like you.
Oh.
Oh, watch them, doggy. Say bye, say hello.
See ya. Good boy. Flint. Yes. Very good. Come. Flint. Yes, good boy. There you go. Trying to keep him from ramping himself up too because of that hard eye contact, right? There you go. Good boy. Good shake. Okay. There you go. Good. Almost close enough that he could smell him. We'll keep him nice and distracted like that. There you go. Good boy. I'll keep trying to close the gap a little bit. You're okay. There you go. There you go. Good. Good. Right? Yeah, that eye contact is definitely the trigger. It's okay, big guy. Because you can also, from doing it so often back and forth here, you can see that he never does that when he's not looking at him, right? He's a little bit more confident, he's curious, he almost wants to engage, but then as soon as he locks eyes with him, it's like, ah, never mind. There you go, good boy. There you go. Very good. Good job. There you go. And we'll just go for a nice walk together, getting used to being around each other while it's while we kind of see if you guys have any other questions or anything. Sorry it took so long for everything.
Leash was definitely our priority. We're thinking like the next steps will probably work on like stay and come.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, we'll want to be kind of as aggressive as you have time to be. So like we're looking to see you pretty often, to be quite honest. To kind of like we're thinking, probably a week to work on the leash, and then maybe see you again in a week or so.
Yeah, and what we'll do is we'll go over a couple different drills while I'm working with the pups, and that way you can kind of practice and emulate too. So like, yeah, that's the hardest thing is when you're both wanting to go in the same direction, he starts pulling. You got to remember what's the important part of the walk, right? Is the lesson. And so either like making it so he understands that leash pressure and acknowledges and stops pulling, or follows you and refocuses. Good boy, Flynn. There you go. There you go. Good. And now what we'll do is I'll get in front of you guys for the walk back. You can just turn around. There you go. And now that way you can get the opportunity too. There you go. So it took a while, but it's not impossible. They're definitely, unfortunately, on like completely two opposite ends of that compatibility spectrum. Yeah. So that would definitely explain, the reactions. Because like he's just super excited, wants to play, but then he's scared of it, and so he triggers a defensive reaction. And then because he's already intense, and then he sees that he looks aggressive. Yeah, definitely all downhill, I think, from there. But it was good to see, like, his interactions with Blanton, the little one.
Yeah. And
how that went. He wasn't scared at all, and it was just like, roar. But he'd like roar, and he'd like jump back.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Yeah, you'll have to, that'll be something that like you'll just have to know about his personality when interacting with other pups, Like they probably wouldn't evaluate a super shy dog like Flint for an evaluation because they would just be overwhelmed and like tucked away in a corner or something the whole time. It's a tough world out here for Flint,
Yeah, he's never let me get close to him, so.
There you go. Good. Good. There you go. Good. Good. So he can soften up too, and that makes it a lot easier.
I think it partly is his size too. Like.
Oh, good boy. There you go. Good job.
Yeah, it's his size too, just because. So he's had a couple of like, I wouldn't say run-ins. It's okay for him.
Good boy. It's okay. There you go. Good. He's doing better now too. That's understandable.
I think he's just trying to feel it all out. I really don't, he's between 1 and 2, and we just think he just wasn't exposed to anything. So.
At least it seems like he's got a really good temperament, right?
Yeah.
He wants to play. He's just really intense about it, right? Good boy. He's already starting to kind of pick up a little bit more on Flint's social cues now that he's kind of calmed down a little bit, right? Good boy. There you go. There you go. Good. He's like, run away. Good boy. It's okay, big guy. You're okay. Good girl. It's okay. Good girl. Now Fiona is also confident, right? So unlike Flint, if he pushes, she'll just push back. She won't be scared. Right? Good girl. Come. Good. Good girl. Yes. Good. Right. Shh, it's okay. Good.
So walk next to each other, or?
We'll just yeah, we'll get them close again. Here, we'll just keep walking. Good girl. Good. Good. You can see that he's not as intense too now, right? Because that's another sure sign that he's a little bit more scared. He's not as like excited to meet, right? He's still like intense, but not nearly as intense as the other dogs. There's like something a little bit more hesitant about him on this one. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Good girl. There you go. Good. So it's really Flint's lack of confidence. That's the problem. Well, yeah. I mean, it's not his problem, but that's like what's really causing the friction. Yeah. Good girl.
So we miss Bash's hackles. He hackled all the time.
Oh, yeah. As soon as she even sees somebody, she'll do it. Good girl. Good girl.
Hey, that might be a little too much.
Good girl. Right? It's okay. Good girl. Thank you. Right? Good girl. It's okay. Oh, it's okay. I know. It's Dad's laughing that's scaring her. It's okay, big guy. Yeah, he almost loses confidence in this situation. He's not like reactively scared, which is really good, but you can tell his confidence is definitely like shot. Cool. Good girl. Good girl. Here you go.
Yeah, you guys gotta make somebody.
Good girl. All right, I'll go put away Fiona, and we'll talk about the next section. Good girl. Here.